Hello, geography students, and congratulations on making it so far into this year. You are almost done with this entire term. I know distance learning has been challenging and it's been a new experience for all of us, but we have rocked it and we have made it this far. You are now done with your essay and you are in the final home stretch. Remember to keep up that good work ethic. Keep trying your best because this assignment is going to be worth tons of points, both in your assessment category and in your work category. Can really make or break your grade. So keep up that forward momentum, keep up all that good work that you've shown the rest of the term, and we will finish strong. And hopefully we'll have some fun because this project is geared exactly towards that. Today, I am going to go ahead and go over some of the background of the final project to give you a brief overview, to show you some of what you'll be doing, to talk about what kind of components you'll actually be doing with this final project, and then to get you started on step one. Remember, you should have step one, this part down here, done by Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. so that when you come to my class on Wednesday, you are ready to go and we can start step two together. So a little bit about our travel plan. The whole purpose is that you are going to learn a ton about a country that you selected earlier in the term. If you are really lost and you never selected a country, or you have simply forgotten your country, the good news is you can click this link right here and you will find our country sign up page for our class. If you have not already signed up for a country, you're going to need to read these directions up here. And then you're going to need to sign up in your block. Block 3 is up at top, and then block 4 is all the way at the bottom. It looks like the majority of you have signed up for a country, so you'll probably just need to refresh yourself. Again, if not, go ahead, read these instructions. You will need to go to this website as well, and you'll be able to pick out another country as long as no one has already signed up for it. So that's where you will find which country your entire travel plan will hinge on. You are going to do a ton of research about that country during this project. You are going to create a travel plan that will include information about tourist attractions you'd like to visit there, about the safety and security of that country, about the culture of that country, the physical geography of that country, and then you will even get to select some flights and to make a budget as if you were actually going on this trip. Remember that some students have been able to convince their guardians to take them on these trips if they do a fantastic job. You will finish this entire document. I know it looks like a lot, but we're going to break it up through steps over the next week and a half. It won't be a problem at all. We'll even have some time in class to work as well. You will create a slideshow, which we've all gotten very good at, that shows and depicts our travel plan, and then you will create a speech recording of yourself. That speech recording of yourself is incredibly important. It is worth more points than any test you've taken so far, and it is an assessment grade. That's what I'm talking about when I say it could make or break your grade. So we will get more into the recording and the slides later, and especially in class, we'll go into very good specifics about it. I will totally prep you for this. But that's a little bit about what the project is. So overall, your task is to plan a trip, right? That's what a travel plan is. It's planning a trip to the country that you signed up for, and it's for two people. So it's for yourself and one other person. You don't have to specify who that person is, but if you'd like to, that's also fine. And then you should be going on this trip for 7 to 9 days. That does include travel days. So if you have somewhere in Asia that's across the world, or if you have somewhere in Europe, right, that's further away, chances are you are going to have some of those days eaten up by travel. So just keep that in mind as you're planning out your different kinds of things. Step 1 is going to be all about finding tourist attractions. We're going to come back to that. I'm going to break it down so that you're able to work on that right after this video is over. Step 2 is all about the culture. The awesome thing about this one is that you've already hopefully learned about your country's culture when you did the culturegrams earlier this year. Step 3 is all about finding out about the physical geography of your country. Step 4 is about safety procedures. So what is your country like? Do you need to get vaccinations? Are there any conflicts going on there? Step 5 is about finding a flight. We're going to get into specifics on that later in the week. It's going to be a little bit difficult because of coronavirus, given that there are restrictions on travel here and there. Then step 6 is one of your final steps. You are going to be making a budget where you get to create a graph where you're basically talking about how much you're going to be spending each day that you're on this trip. We'll get into that as well. Down here, you will see there are slides, right? We have our design tips like always. We have 4 different samples for you to take a peek at. We have very fleshed out slide requirements based on what you might want to put onto these slides. And then we have our filming down here. Again, filming is going to be one of the most important parts that you can possibly have because it's worth 50 assessment points. You can either use Flipgrid, and there's tons of instructions here. I know some of you have already used it in other classes, so we're hopefully familiar. You can also use Screencast-O-Matic. I don't care, whichever one you do is totally fine with me. Just make sure that you are not recording only your screen and your voice. I need to see you. I need to see your face. I need to see your eye contact. I need to hear how well you're saying the words and how loudly you're speaking and all that kind of stuff, what kind of gestures you're using. So I have to see you. Cannot just be your voice, okay? And we'll get more into what we should be doing while we film later. Finally, like I said before, you will be turning in 3 things. You will be turning in this document itself, so the one I'm showing you on the screen. You will complete this document on Classroom. So similar to how we did with our essays, I need to check in and be able to see your document and make sure that you're making headway and that you're getting the steps done when they're supposed to be done and to make sure that you're doing them correctly. So you're going to go ahead and do this assignment on Google Classroom. So whether you're in Block 3 or Block 4, you will go to our Google Classroom page, you'll find this assignment. If you're confused at all, go to Canvas. I will make assignments in Canvas as well that direct you directly to Google Classroom so you'll know when all of the due dates are. You will make your slideshow. You'll turn that into Canvas. You'll share the link just like you're used to doing. We've done that multiple times the year with religion slides, with our natural disaster slides a little bit earlier. And then finally, you will share your presentation link on Canvas as well. Getting into step 1 a little bit more so that we know exactly how to go about doing this. Step 1, you are going to find 5 tourist attractions in your country that you would like to visit while you are there to build your travel plan around, okay? You are going to use these questions down here that you see, all the letters, right? There's 5 of them, or 6 of them total. Nope, 5. We all know I'm not a math teacher. So you will use these questions and you will answer them, okay? These are going to be kind of like your guiding questions. You are more than welcome to add more information about each attraction that you find if you would like to, and if you're really into it, I would love that. But again, you only need to answer these 5 questions. So how it's going to work is, let's say you find an attraction. Let's say you're doing San Diego, okay, where we live. And you find a source about San Diego that you really like. Maybe it's a travel website or something like that. You link it here. You literally copy and paste it. Then you're going to type the name in. Let's say that you're doing Balboa Park. Okay? So Balboa Park is a great tourist attraction. Many people like to go there when they come here. Now you will answer these 5 questions. Okay, so you will answer these 5 questions. It's going to be location. So which major city is this attraction near or located by? So you would say San Diego. For your experience, what will a tourist experience, see, hear, and or do? Describe the scene. So you will probably feel a lot of sunshine, right? Because it's San Diego, depending on what time of the year you're going. You will probably see a lot of Spanish-style architecture. If you're in Balboa Park, you will see lots of foliage, lots of trees, lots of grass. You'll see lots of artwork and all of that kind of stuff, right? As far as hearing, generally it's a pretty crowded place. So you're probably going to be hearing lots of people, lots of kids running around, all that kind of stuff. You'll probably see lots of pets as well, right? So that's going to be our experience. What will you learn? You might learn a ton of things, right? If you go into a museum, you can learn all about different things, including planes, including science, including history, art, whatever museum you go into, right? You're going to learn something different. So again, what will you learn from the experience? Totally up to you. It's kind of dependent on whatever the attraction is. Interesting. So tell us one of the most interesting things you learned about this place or that you would plan to do, okay? And that's kind of, again, up to you. You might want to read some reviews from people. TripAdvisor is a good place to start to look at what they said about it and maybe find something that you would think would be interesting. And then cost, what's the cost of visiting? For example, if you were going to go to a museum, how much does it cost to get in? If you're going to go to lunch or dinner around there, how much does that cost? Is there souvenir shopping that you're going to do while you're there, right? So Balboa Park could be our example there. But again, we are going to come up with 5 of those total. Each tourist attraction has to fit one of these categories down here, okay? You have to have at least one physical or environmental place of significance, one cultural or religious place, and one historical point of interest. And there are samples right here. As far as physical and environmental, it could be a national park, it could be a famous mountain, it could be a famous volcano, it could be a famous waterfall, right? It could be any kind of physical or environmental place, right? It could be a dam, it could be a major park, anything like that would work. Cultural or religious, it might be a place of worship, okay? It might be a religious temple. It might be a huge traditional marketplace or a farmer's market or something like that. It might be somewhere where a festival or a holiday celebration is held for whatever country you're in. For historic points of interest, think something old, right? So maybe a museum, maybe a historical landmark, a historical battle site, a national monument. And again, you have to have at least one of these. You are doing 5, right? So you might end up with 2 physical, 2 cultural, and 1 historic. However you want to spread those out is totally fine, but each of the 5 places you find should kind of match into this, okay? We're generally looking for more things that are either physical, cultural, or historical. We are not necessarily looking for a giant mall, right? Because a giant mall isn't going to fit into any of these unless maybe it's a historic building or it has some kind of cultural significance. Again, it's kind of up to you. You have a lot of freedom as you go through this. Just do your best to make sure every single of the 5 attractions you find fits into one of these, and you are required to have at least one of each of these. So you might be wondering, how do I find these attractions, right? I have some useful links for you right here. Nat Geo has a ton, if you click on this link, of tours already made. And you can go through, and let's say that you did Ireland, you can go to their Ireland page and you can click through and see which attractions they pick to take people on. If you want to use a tour agency's website, you're totally welcome to do that to find places they go on. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can copy some of those things. There's also this website that says the top tourist attraction in every country in the world. So maybe you want to check this out, zoom in a little bit. The cool thing is, you know that all of these are mostly going to be good because it's historic, natural, religious, right? Which are the categories that we're looking for specifically. So when you do find a place, you are going to copy and paste the link that you used right here. A really easy thing to do also, folks, is to type top tourist destinations. And then let's say you're doing Ireland, right? You could say in Ireland. You'll come up with so many lists, right? You have all these different blogs. You have even what Google recommends. TripAdvisor is always a good place, right? So all of these are going to be good places to start. Really do some research, dive into it, have some fun with it. You will link the sources that you use here, literally just copy and paste the link. You will type in your 5 tourist attractions, right? So you'll do 1, 2, so on and so forth. And then you will type your notes. Each of the 5 tourist attractions you find, you have to type in the answers to these questions. They should be full sentences. I don't want any skimpy results, right? I want all of your responses to be thorough. So do your research on each place. You technically have 2 days to get this done. Will not take that long. Your notes should be at least half a page here, okay? You're aiming for at least half a page for your notes. So you are going to go ahead. You're going to go through the Pear Deck of this slideshow on Canvas, and then you are going to do step 1. That is your homework for Monday and Tuesday, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.